Hello everyone, welcome back to More Than Plastic. In today's video we are going to be continuing part 2 of looking at every single Marvel Legends for Spider-Man ever released. I was going to upload part 2 a little bit sooner, but I got a little bit delayed. I actually wanted to re-record this part because I already did film this, but I wanted to include the new figures that have been released. Anyway though, let's continue. Last time we stopped at 2021, so we looked at all the figures from 2007 to 2021. So now we're going to begin with 2022 and onward. If you have not seen last video, go check it out because that's obviously important. If you want to see every single figure, go check it out first, then come back, or watch this first, then go back to that one, whatever you prefer. But let's get started. First we have 2022, and the first figure we're going to be looking at today is my actual favorite of all time, spoiler alert. So this is the Amazing Friends Spider-Man action figure that came out in that 3-pack with Firestar and Iceman, and I so badly want them to re-release this as a single carded version because this is the best figure of all time and it is so hard to get. It took me months to get this figure and I still had to pay a decent price for him. Not too bad, I was able to get my hands on him for an okay price, but still I've seen online it's getting pretty bad and I want other collectors to get their hands on this figure because it is so good. Obviously it is a recoloring of the Amazing Fantasy figure, the one with the black instead of the blue like it is on this figure, but that blue on it is perfect. The articulation on this figure is like peak and I absolutely love it. I don't know if they're gonna be singly releasing this anytime soon due to a new release that was announced like literally a week ago as I'm filming this, which we'll get to, but for now this one is my definitive figure for Spider-Man, so peak right here. Then we have the Japanese Spider-Man, and for a while I did debate picking this up because I've seen him on Amazon for an okay price, about $17, but I just never really had an attachment to this character just because I never did watch the show. I think it is a cool figure. The only reason I didn't really get it is because I don't love the orange on it. It's not red, it's like quite orange as you can see, but it still looks accurate to the show. You get the gauntlet, like the transformer thingy that he transforms into like a car or something. Weird show. Then we have Silk from the Dr. Ock 2-pack. I feel like the Silk that was singly released previously that we looked at in the other video was a little bit better than this one. The body on it seems better. I don't really love the legs on this figure. They look a little strange, but the head sculpts are great and you get a nice array of accessories, so that's always good. Then we have Spinneret from the Renew Your Vows 2-pack. I do like this design, and I think the heads on it that it comes with are really, really good. And I like that they made this character. This is not one that I expected to ever be made in Marvel Legends, honestly, so the fact that we have MJ Spider-Man is pretty cool. Yeah, cool design. I don't have this figure, but I do have the one in the 2-pack that's with it, which is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. One of my also favorite figures. The only thing I don't love about it, which I'll get to first, is the blue is a little bit dark. That's the one thing. But besides that, it's so good. I would say that the articulation on this one is a little bit better than the Amazing Friends one, just because it does have the toe joints, and I feel like it's a little bit better to move around and get into more crunchy poses. The mask too is not my favorite, but other than that, it's so good. The body on it is perfect. I really like the logo. I like how it's nice and big. And then the muscular build is so good too. So definitely one of my top 3 or 4 Spider-Mans, I'd say. He's definitely top 5 of all time, but he's a really good one. And that head sculpt, I love when they include the Peter Parker head sculpt. It's so good. Great figure, 9 out of 10. Then we have the Future Foundation Spider-Man stealth suit. Yeah, it's cool. These type of suits I just don't really bother to really put in my collection just because they're not my thing, but it's definitely a cool design. Then we have the Amazing Fantasy, which I thought I already did talk about this one. Oh, this might be the re-release with the correct logo on the back. I'm pretty sure. I'm forgetting what year they released that in. I think it is that though. Yeah, so this one comes with all the web wings, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this one, I love this figure, of course, because it's just like the Amazing Friends one, just colored black for the first appearance of Spider-Man. So just a classic figure. It's good to have his first original appearance version. I love it, and once again, great body, great articulation and design. Another 10 out of 10 figure. Then we have the Mark II armor, I think it's called, from just an Elseworld or whatever in the multiverse of Spider-Man. This actually appeared in the 90s animated Spider-Man cartoon. They had this character appear, and he was married to Gwen Stacy, and he was really rich. I'm pretty sure that's how it was in that show. Yeah, basically really rich Spider-Man. Kind of like the Tony Stark version of him. It is what it is. I don't love it, the figure, honestly. I wouldn't probably get this one. Just kind of bland, but unique character. Oh, then we got the Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man figure. I do like this one. I have this one in my collection. Great logo, very well done. It's on the same body as the retro card one, so you know it's going to be good, because that's probably my second favorite Spider-Man, which I talked about in the previous video. So yeah, on that same body, it's great. Love this figure. Literally no complaints about it. It's so good. Ooh, then we have the Symbiote Spider-Man. Same thing. It's on that same retro body as it is on the Ben Reilly one that I just showed. Another great figure. Definitely one of my favorite bodies for Spider-Man as well. And I'm not usually a big like symbiote fan. That's just not me. But this figure I do have, and I love it. That's like my ultimate symbiote Spider-Man figure for sure. Then we have, I love this one, the Bombastic Bagman. So we have Spider-Man here when he was leaving the Baxter building, and he didn't have a suit, so they let him borrow a Fantastic Four suit, and of course Johnny left him a little message on his back. I love it. That exact pose that he's in up top in that picture, I have him in that like same pose in my collection, because I love him trying to grab the sign off his back. So funny. Great figure. Always one of my favorites. I'll always love this figure. Oh, then we have the animated series Spider-Man, and I love this one. I know people don't like the cell shading, and they do like the newer one, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why, this one in my collection, I just love it. Like, he always pops. I think it's because that blue is so like something that we've never really seen before in a figure. It's like so bright, that blue that they use, and like just beautiful looking. So every time I do a double take on him in my collection, it sounds weird, but I think he is really good. And I think the mask on this one is a lot better compared to the new animated series one, which we'll get to in that 2-pack with Vulture. I think this figure is superior. I know it has the cell shading, like I said, but I still like this one more. The mask is better, and it's on the body where the shoulders don't have the gap in between. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's really good. Another one of my top favorite Spider-Man figures. Okay, now we have some movie figures. So we got Ned. I do have this 2-pack, and I really do like it. I think it's super funny. I love the little Spider-Man head with Ned putting on the mask, because it's like a little chunky Spider-Man head. It's so funny. And yeah, these figures I think were genuinely like very well done. Like, they got Ned down really well. Great body, and I like the outfit that they put him on. You know, it looks really good. No complaints there. The head sculpt is actually really great too. I wonder if we will get a No Way Home version of him with like the cape and everything. I don't know if we need that, but it would be cool maybe one day to have. Then of course we have Peter, and I like everything about this figure except the pants. I just think they're like, just as an outfit choice, like the figure didn't do anything wrong. I just think the color's kind of ugly, because ew, like yellow pants. I guess they're supposed to be like khakis, but they're too yellow in my opinion. Anyway, just a nitpick, but it is really cool. I like this figure a lot. The one head though when he's smiling is a little bit creepy. Then we have Spider-Man Noir, and we have him next. And in my previous video, by the way, for the comic version of Spider Noir, I did say that, oh, they didn't include him with like his hat, and someone in the comments let me know that in the comics he actually didn't have the hat until like the movie popularized that like look for him. So that was my bad. This figure, I really like this one. I should have picked this one up. I saw it in Target like when it got released like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh no, because at the time I wasn't collecting like Spider-Verse figures, and I regret it really badly because this one is really cool. I think it's cool how they did the jacket, because it's kind of like flowing in the wind, which like goes with the look. And it's cool that you get Spider-Man ham too with it, or Spider-Man ham, Spider-Ham with it. That's a cool accessory, if you want to call him that. So anyway, long tangent just to say, nice figure. Okay, now we're at 2023. Let's see what we got. So we have the Peter Parker animated series from the 90s figure. I wish I had this one, because I don't have him in like his civilian look, because I do like it. I like the camera. The head is, once again, the head sculpt that came with the Spider-Man and Vulture 2-pack, I don't like that head sculpt for the animated series. I think it looks weird. Something about it's too glossy. The hair's too light. The head sculpt in this figure, though, is perfect. Absolutely perfection. So I would like this figure just so I could pop it on like my cel-shaded animated series Spidey. That would be cool. So I'll look around for this one. And, you know, can't go wrong with some like cool accessories like that. So a great figure. Then we have the cel-shaded symbiote suit from the animated series as well. Another cool one, you know, it's similar to the same one I showed earlier, but I do think it is on the Renew Your Vows body just because it has the toe articulation, so that's different. I just wouldn't get it because, to me, I don't really like the cell shading in this version. Then we have Aunt May, and I do actually have this figure because it came in on eBay with like in a lot with a bunch of figures, and since I don't have any of the other 90s animated series, like civilian looks, like I don't have MJ yet, I don't have Peter, I have yet to display her in my collection because like I'm not just gonna have Aunt May like randomly standing there. So hopefully one day, this figure, she just looks like, when I was younger, I had these doll houses, I'll try to find pictures of them, and they came with like these tiny little doll, like I guess like tiny figurines to put like in the doll houses, and they were literally dressed and built like her. I gotta find a picture of it. Because it's super funny. Every time I see this figure, I think of those little doll like figurines. Anyway, next figure, we have MJ, and I would like this one too, because I want the Peter and MJ like from the night. I love that show. That show was one of my favorites. Hopefully one day we can get some spectacular Spider-Man figures, you know, the one from 2008, because that show is actually my favorite, and we had nothing from it. So hopefully one day. But anyway, I would like this figure. The costume literally looks like it's ripped out of the show, and it's really well done. I have this Spider-Man from that 5-pack, I believe on Amazon, and I just don't love this one, but I do think that the paint they use, like that metallic black, I do think that that is very unique, and like, it does make the figure different, so I give them A for effort on that. Oh, okay, then we have Spider-Woman, Julia Carpenter from the West Coast 5-pack. I didn't even know I put this on here. I forgot that I was putting his, like, allies on this as well. Honestly, yeah, out of every, like, Spider-Woman figure, this is, like, my favorite design. Because I'm not, like, a big Spider-Woman fan, per se. But I do like this design, because I think the black and the white look really clean on her. And, like, with the, how she has her white arms and white legs, I like that. I think that's a very cool design. Then we have the Ben Reilly Spider-Man figure. And I love Ben Reilly. I love the Scarlet Spider suit is my favorite design of all time, the one with the hoodie. Favorite design. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it. But, and I do like his, you know, the one I showed earlier on the retro body with like the big black logo on the chest. I like that one as well. But this suit is where he just kind of declines for me, unfortunately. Don't love those huge eyes. I mean, the figure makes it look weirder than it does, like, in the comics. I know that. Because when I saw this design in comics for the first time, I was like, oh, it looks nothing like the figure, honestly. Yeah, just not for me. I don't love the logo. Honestly, though, it is giving, like, Superior Spider-Man a little bit on the logo, so that's actually kind of cool, because I love that suit. But, yeah, just not one I would ever pick up. Then we have another Ben Reilly suit. Chasm? Forgive me for the pronunciation. I think it's Chasm. As a figure, yeah, they did a great job. Hasbro did a great job here. They understood the assignment. It looks actually like a great figure. You know, ripped straight from the design. But as like a personal Spider-Man costume, it's just not for me. Yes, it is cool. Like, I do think the purple and like that cool green that they use look well together, but not for Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Then we have, oh, why are they kind of in their flop era here? Not gonna lie.
Your flop era is low-key serving. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't love this costume for Miles as well. What is this called? Miles' Last Stand suit? That might be wrong. I think it is called that though. I just, ew. Like, I don't know what they were going for here. I can't even tell you what he looks like. Miles always looks cool. This one does not look cool. Yeah, this is the worst wave of Spider-Man figures of all time. I don't think I have one figure from this wave because this just wasn't good. Yeah, Jessica Drew Spider-Woman in, like, I don't even know, stealth suit, I guess? Honestly, it's not the worst design, but I just think her, like, classic costume is way cooler. This one's not, I guess this one's not necessarily bad, it's just not really that interesting. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Now we have the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man with the correct logo. So the one earlier was the one that actually did not have the blue logo on the back. So forgive me for confusing it. This one does have the correct logo that was released on the like a retro card later on. Once again, super cool figure. It's literally the same thing that I talked about earlier, except that it has the correct logo from the comic. Super, super cool. One of my favorites of all time. Alright, we got another Jessica Drew Spider-Woman from the 2-pack with that King Scroll. Yeah, pretty much just like her other figures, except she gets the scroll head. looks exactly the same as the ones that were released like years ago, just that it's pinless. Oh, it's actually not even pinless, never mind. Yeah, so pretty much like no upgrade. Okay, then we have this figure that I feel like I've talked about this a million times, haunts me in my nightmares, because I feel like I talk about it in every video. And they released this like 2 times. This is like the worst figure of all time. It's so ugly. Ew, I like the blue that they used, I'll give them that, because I do like that bright blue. That looks nice. But literally, other than that, it's so ugly. There's like no articulation like on the lower half, like where his torso is. There's a diaphragm cut, but there's no like hinge or anything there, and ew, like the web line. Why are there no web lines? The arms are so hideous. No. Okay, now we have another one that like makes me sad to say I didn't pick up, because the head is done perfectly, and I guess the logo, but why did they? Okay, it's the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man. And I've talked about this before. I think that Hasbro cannot get the PlayStation figures correct. The first one from the PlayStation 4, that figure is actually hideous, but it was made at a time where like they weren't like perfect with like head sculpts and like totally accurate, because it was around like 2018, so they were still like so I can give them a pass there. But this is 2023, right? Why is that blue the way that it is? The blue in the game is so like bright, and like I don't even know how to describe the blue, but it's not that. Okay, then we have the Miles from, is it from his game or is it technically from Spider-Man 2? No, I think it's technically from Spider-Man 2. This figure's well done. Yes, they actually did a great job on it. The logo looked great. The little like V-cut that he has, that like red V-cut, that looks really good. No complaints here. I didn't pick this one up. I am gonna pick up a Miles that was like recently announced though, which we'll talk about soon. And I always love to see the little cat accessory. That is super cute. Then here we have Miles from his animated movie, Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, this is 2023. This version I don't have. I have the SHF Figure Arts bootleg. Don't clock me on that. I have that version of him because I think it's way better. Unfortunately, Hasbro did have to go off concept art for this movie before, it was announced. So this is what the suit looked like in the concept art. It's not accurate to what ended up coming out in the movie, so that is like unfortunate, but it's not their fault. The head is okay on it. It looks like him, but I just don't love the expression. Like, yeah, no, it's a great head, but just the expression's not good. Then we have Gwen. This one I do have. This one they did absolutely great on. No complaints there. Phenomenal head sculpt. That is like peak head sculpt. The costume looks incredible. Great figure. Then, oh god. See, the Spider-Verse waves are always very hit or miss. This one is a huge miss. I can't stand this figure. It's so bad. Once again, concept art, because not what we ended up getting in the movie at all. He had his robe on in the movie, and he had his little kid, but they couldn't spoil that, obviously. So, Marvel couldn't drop those designs to Hasbro because that would spoil the movie. But the new is it Mafex? Yeah, Mafex is making a new one of that, and oh, that looks really good. But yeah, this is unfortunately what we got. Once again, they're using that same Peter Parker body where they just don't want to paint web lines on him. I know in the film they're super thin, but like it just comes across as weird. I'm sorry. And ew, why are the dogs out? Please put some shoes on. Oh, see, here we go. This is a huge hit. One of my favorite figures of all time. Like from Spider-Verse, this is my favorite Spider-Verse figure ever made. It is so good. SHF Figure Arts made their version of it, and like the only difference of it is that the guitar looks like a little bit more detailed, but other than that, from far away, you can't even tell. Like, and they're both so good. And this figure, just the detail on it, like the vest is so nice. The articulation on it is so good. I guess because he's so like skinny and thin, so they're able to like I don't know, he's able to just like articulate and like go into so many great poses. I absolutely love this figure. Definitely pick it up if you don't have it. Then we have Spider-Man 2099, and see, a lot of people would say that this is a miss. I don't hate this figure. Like, people literally like hate this figure online. I don't think it's bad. Like, yeah, the SHF Figure Arts one looks a lot better, but this one, I don't know, I have it. It passes on my shelf. Like, I think it looks fine. I don't really see a problem with it at all. Then we have Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. I think they actually did a great job on it. The hair looks really cool. Just not a character I like super care about. We didn't really get to see like too much of her in the movie, so maybe when hopefully eventually Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, which it's not even in development yet, which makes me really sad. Hopefully we see more of her character, so maybe we'll care about like her figure more. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I feel like if I don't really care about a character, why would I get their figure, another one. We just didn't see, what is this called? Cyborg Spider-Woman. We didn't really see much of her. It's a her, right? I mean, it's Spider-Woman, yeah. I can't believe that this was like, wasn't this like $60 when they released it? Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy that it was that much. But it literally instantly went down to like clearance because no one was paying that price. Oh, then we have the Civil War Spider-Man, which was, I was excited when they announced this like line of like MCU figures. Like, I was like, oh great, we're gonna get all these like cool characters on like brand new bodies and it's gonna look so good. And no, none of them were on new bodies. They were on the same exact ones, just like repainted and literally no upgraded articulation. Like this figure came out in 2023 and it still has pegs. Like that's crazy. All right, here we go now. We have the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And this is, okay, these are the single releases. So I'm a little out of order here for 2023. But these came out, so the 3-pack came out during the summer of 2023. The single releases of each figure came out in at the end of the year, in like December, around Christmas time. The sculpt on it is really good, but I just wish that they would have like taken the criticisms of the 3-pack and applied it, because everyone hated like the blue that they used, and the red is just way too orangey. And he kind of, I mean, I know they're not going to upgrade the articulation because they already had the molds out, but like that gut that he has, like look at the figure when he's articulated. Why does his like gut stick out like that? And the mask is just ugh. I love Tobey Maguire, so I can't hate too much, but Hasbro, come on. Then we have the Tom Holland Final Swing suit from No Way Home. Finally, a Tom Holland figure that I am gonna speak nice about. I feel bad, but it took this long to get a good figure for him. So they finally upgraded the body. He's actually taller now, not on that stubby, ugly body. And the design on it, I really, really like. I debated getting the SHF Figure Arts Final Swing suit because that looks so good. The blue on it is a little bit more like metallic, but I like the blue on this one. I think it looks great. I display him without the head just because the one thing I don't like about this figure is the head sculpt. It looks a little too like round, and I always think of a basketball when I see it. Does that head not look like a basketball? Because it does to me. But yeah, finally a great Tom Holland suit. I think they could have given a little bit of an older head because they used like that Homecoming head sculpt from like that 2-pack. I think we could have gotten an older version of him. But other than that, I really like this one, and I can't wait to see more of this suit in live action. Then we have Andrew Garfield, the GOAT. No complaints about this figure. This is the one that they actually did really, really well, of like the 3-pack and the single released. Great head sculpt. They knocked it out of the park there, and the body is perfect. The logo looks great. Awesome figure. Great head sculpt, like of the mask as well, not just the head, like the actual like mask. The eyes look perfect on it. So good. Then we have MJ. Aw, this poor figure. She is $2.99 at Ross on clearance. I've been seeing that on Reddit. So sad. It's not the worst figure though. Like normally they cannot get Zendaya's face at all. I don't think they nailed it, but it's passable. Like you could definitely, like from far away, you're like, all right, that's MJ, that's Zendaya. The suit is done, not the suit, the clothes are done really well. That sweater looks just like how it did in the movie. I think, you know, they nailed it, that baggy look on the sleeves. I don't think it's a bad figure. The boots look good. And for what it is, she actually stands up pretty well. Normally these like girl figures do not stand up well. And I like that she came with the magic box. I put that like in my display as like a nice little accessory piece. I have like all the Spider-Man surrounding it. I think that looks pretty cool, so nice to have that. Okay, now we have the 3-pack, and yeah, I'll just talk about this because I already talked about the figure, so I'll just talk about like the controversy of it. I was upset. I did get this 3-pack, and I did end up getting all the singly released figures because I wanted the heads. Yes, I know. I can't believe I did that. This 3-pack was way overpriced. It was it I think it was $90, but then after, you know, shipping and everything, because it's on Hasbro Pulse, it comes out to like over 100, like 105 I think I paid for it, which is crazy for 3 action figures because that is over $25 for each. Not getting the money's worth. If it came with the heads, that would be fine. I would be like, all right, you know what, it was worth it. If it came with more hands and more just like accessories, maybe like a diorama piece, that would be worth it. We didn't get any of that. You had to buy all of the heads afterwards, you know, individually. And yeah, and of course it comes with the integrated suit instead of the Final Swing suit. You know, makes sense because that's what he wore in the movie, like, you know, along the 2 other Spider-Men, he wore the integrated suit, and I just don't love it. I don't love the design as a whole. Like as a Spider-Man suit, I give it like a 7 out of 10, and as a figure, it's even worse. It just doesn't look that good. All right, moving on. We're almost done. 2024, we have, first up, the animated Spider-Man, as I was talking about a little bit before. And do you guys see what I mean now? Look at the gappage in those shoulders. Not good. And it's just not as, like, bright and, like, fun as the other one. I don't know. And, of course, the logo is more accurate, though, because he does have, like, the other Spider-Man, they don't do that with the logo, like, how it has the no web lines through it. So that's one downside. This one does do that, right? I'll give them that. The blue is just not as fun, though. And the head sculpts on it, once again, that Peter head sculpt it's just so glossy and shiny looking. It does not look as good as the one on the just like civilian body. And the actual like Spider-Man head, I don't like the eyes on it as much. It just doesn't look good. But I passed on this one. I just wasn't feeling it. I did want that Flash head. That I'll give them. They did a great job on that. That looks really cool. And I'm glad that they did include like the unmasked accessory. I love when they include stuff like that. So I'll give them that, but it's just, this figure's too mid for me. I give it like a 6 out of 10. It's just, Okay, then we have the Spider-Man from the one with Wolverine in that like Fantastic Four look 2-pack. Another one I passed on. It's cool though. I'm glad that they gave this for people that want to like complete that team. That's always great. Alright, then we have my actual favorite figure of all time. If you guys saw my top 10 Marvel Legends video, spoiler alert, he was top 10 for 2024. I absolutely love this figure, love this design. They freaking popped off on it. Everything about it looks so good. The hoodie looks great. I love the like eyes, the eye style that they chose. That's my favorite eye style for the suit. Everything looks perfect. The ankle pocket thingies, the little web shooters, so good, and it's so articulated. It's on Renew Your Vows. Absolutely love this figure. So well done. It's way better than the past like 2 versions that they released that I talked about in the other video. From the retro card with that like Ben Reilly head, the unmasked head, and then the one from years ago from the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave. It's such a freaking upgrade from those 2. It's insane. Best figure of all time. The red that they use is perfect. Next, we have the Last Stand suit. If I find this figure for like mad cheap, I will definitely pick it up because I love the Spider-Verse storyline, like from 2014, like the Dan Slott's Spider-Verse storyline. I try to get every figure from that because like I have Spider UK, I want Cosmic Spider-Man, I have Spider Assassin. So yeah, it's just not a figure that I super duper need. So I'm holding off on it until like I really find it for like literally like cheap. The vest on it looks good, like whatever you want to call that look. That's very nice. Of course he's not going to be as articulated. He does not have the cut in his diaphragm at all, but let's be real, he's old man Spider-Man. Is he going to be crunching and doing crazy poses? I think not. Then we have Spider Assassin, which I was just talking about. Another great character that I'm glad we did get from the Spider-Man storyline. Good to fill that out. This is when Spider-Man I think was trained by Wolverine and he's like a killer. I don't know why though, just as a figure, I talk about this a lot, I just didn't like love it. Like I was excited to get this one, and then once I got it I was like, oh, I just wasn't like impressed. So that's unfortunate. Ooh, but one that does blow me away is this figure. I've talked about this so many times on my channel. This was actually, spoiler alert, top 2 of my top 10 Marvel Legends for 2024. I absolutely love this figure. It was my most anticipated figure of all time. The arms on it are so good. Everything about this figure is amazing. The design of it, the head sculpts are phenomenal. The logo looks great, and just one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines of all time. So to get it as a figure, and it's such a great figure, is incredible. The one gripe with it, which I've talked about this before, is I don't love the ball joint shoulders. See how it's kind of, his shoulder just literally looks like a ball. I don't love that, but the pose I have him in my collection, you don't really see it. So it works. You get a lot of accessories with it. Worth it. Definitely. I think it was a deluxe figure, so it was like $29.99. Worth the price though. Perfect. Okay, then we have the Secret Wars Spider-Man. They did a great job with it, you know? The 2 head sculpts you get are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the squinty one is from the Spider Assassin figure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know, I like that pose that they have him in down there. That's straight up from the Secret Wars cover. That's cool. Alright, now we have this hit or miss wave. So we have Miles from Into the Spider-Verse, and I guess they never made this figure because they only ever made him, you know, with like his little like green hoodie and like the shorts and stuff and like the Nikes. So, which that's a great figure. But this one, it just doesn't hit. I don't know why. Something about it looks weird. It's a great representation for the first movie, but just not one for me, in my opinion. Alright, now we have this one. This figure, now I could see why people don't like this figure. This version of it I don't like. The colors on the body are just weird. It looks way too like, I don't even know what you want to call that. Not good. And come on. They finally give us a head sculpt for Miguel, and this is what we get. He's so whited out and like washed out. It just looks so weird. If you want a head sculpt for this figure, go pick up the bootleg CT Toys version of this, because that is so good. They give you 2 head sculpts on that figure and they look insane. This one, garbage. Ooh, then we have one that I probably should get. I passed for now because I don't have like an attachment to the character, but I know when Beyond the Spider-Verse eventually comes out that this character is going to have a big role in it, so I should just get this in advance. Very nicely done figure. I've seen reviews of it. I love all the detail on it. You know, the head sculpt's great. The dreads on it look perfect, and all around a really, really cool Spider-Man. I'm excited to see more of this character. Ooh, okay, then we have a figure I do like. I do think the head sculpt on it is a little bit glossy, but in person it's not really that bad. I don't even know how to say this. I'm just gonna call him Spider-Man India. Spider India. I like this character. He was cool in the movie, and a great design. I think the detail on it is great. It was definitely a hit figure. This is the only figure that I ended up getting from the wave, and I love his like little bangle like web accessory. Oh, okay. Then we have a controversial one. So I know they're trying to go like with the artistic style, but Spider-Punk was never like straight up purple in the movie. Like they could have done, I don't know, they could have done it differently. And you do get the purple, you know, head sculpt, the unmasked version of Hobie. And they include, it's not in the pictures, but they do include like a regular, you know, no colored, like no purple look for Hobie. But the fact that you have to buy a separate figure just to get that is crazy. It should have just came with the original figure. I don't really love that. I feel like that's kind of shady. Come on, you have to pay a whole another $25 just to get a head sculpt? That's crazy. Then we have this abomination. Ew. The Gwen figure, you know, that I previously showed for the original wave was done so well. And, oh god, this is just so, no. The hair, first of all, what did they do to the face? The face looked perfect in the other figure. And now it looks all shiny and just not good. And then you have the hair, which I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. I don't like it. Then we have Peter B. Parker. Actually, I'm sorry, this is not Peter B. Parker. This is just Peter Parker from Miles' universe, the Spider-Man that passed away in the beginning of the film. It's nice that they made this figure, but god, I hate that body so much. I'm not even going to waste time talking about it because you guys know how I feel about this body already. Oh, then we have this figure, of course, it had to come back to haunt me. We got the Infinity Saga Iron Spider. Once again, they re-released this for like the 45,000th time. You know, I do appreciate it though, because I do like that there's always like a Spider-Man figure on the shelf for like kids that want to get into collecting, so it's good for that reason. But come on, at least give them a good figure. This figure is garbage. Alright, now 2025, the last year, let's see what we got. So, okay, we have the Spider-Man Far From Home suit again. Once again, it's good that these are on the shelves. Any kid can get a Spidey figure, but it's just so average. And just next, we have this new announced wave of like all these different Spider-Man figures, which are starting to ship out, so that's cool. So first up, we got the Spider-Man Unlimited one. Interesting design, just a weird show, honestly. Like, it's just based off such a weird show. This was supposed to be like a continuation of the 90s animated series, but I think it was coming out at the same time as like the Raimi movies, so Sony said that they literally can't use like any characters because they didn't want it to be like too similar. So it was just made with all these weird villains and just weird, very weird storyline. And of course the suit was something we've like literally never seen before. It's a unique design. I think they did the logo really well. Like, it definitely looks like the cartoon. Then we have Kane, and like I was unsure where to put him. I was like, do I want to put him on the villains list? So I just threw him here because I did put the other Kane figure in the other list in part 1. So I'll put him here. Cool design. The hair looks great. I know Displaying Model Behavior is really happy about this one. He's been wanting this one for a while. Another one that I was on the fence of where I wanted to put him in the heroes or the villains list, I just threw him here because he's kind of like an anti-hero, so I was like, whatever, I'll just put him on here. It's Agent Venom. Nice that we got this character. I'm not like, you guys know, I'm not like a huge like Venom person. I know it's not Venom, but like, you know, that's just that whole like genre, just not for me. But I'm glad, you know, for you guys out there, there's a lot of people who are super excited about this figure, so that is great. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. I've actually been seeing people use that Flash head as a Harvey Dent custom from The Dark Knight, which I think is pretty funny. Then last one from this line, we have the Spider-Boy figure. A character I'm not like really attached to that much, so maybe I'll pick it up. I probably won't. I didn't pre-order it or anything. But I'm glad they are making it the other head sculpt looks pretty good. I like that, alternate look where he has that, like, I don't even know what you want to call that thing sticking out of his head, and it's on like a nice, like, small kind of body because he is a kid. Then we have, now this is one I'm shocked that they made, we have the Nicholas Hammond figure from the 1970s show, and it actually looks really good. No complaints there. I might get this one just because, like, I just think it's a cool piece of history, because it's just shocking that they're even making it. So definitely happy about that. I like to see it. Then we have the Ultimate Miles Morales figure, which they literally just announced. It's a part of this new wave where it's like a bunch of, like, different random, like, comic figures, and they come with, like, a mini comic book, which is amazing. I think that's so cool. So this one I will be getting because I don't have, like, a definitive Miles in my collection, so I will be picking this one up. And I think it looks incredible. They did the suit really well. The head sculpt actually looks perfect, just like Miles in the comics. So definitely pick this one up if you need a Miles for your collection. And last but not least, and of course I wanted to wait till the end to talk about this because it's like a big topic right now. So on the new fan stream, they announced the Miles figure, and they announced this new line of action figures called the Maximum series. And of course, the first character that they're doing in that series is Spider-Man. So as of right now, we are still unsure of the price point of it. Everyone's speculating, everyone's saying it's going to be $50, like it's going to be $49.99. I agree. I think it could be maybe $40, maybe $45, I'm hoping. So basically, as you can see here, I'm sure you guys know about this figure, you get all these accessories. It actually is crazy. You get the spider sense above his head, which I never thought we'd get that in Marvel Legends, so that's great. You get all the different hands, all the webs, all the different arm pieces. It looks really good, and the articulation on it, that's why it's called Maximum, because it's literally maxed out. Those poses you can get him in like those like McFarlane style poses, is crazy. I'm super excited. I am gonna get this figure, probably no matter what it is. Obviously it's above 50, I'll have to think about it, but if it's 50 or under, I'll definitely be getting it. So this is kind of a unique line. I'm curious to see what else they do with it. I know a lot of people are saying that they really want a Daredevil in this line, and I would not be opposed to that. I would love a maxed out Daredevil with like all different heads, like unmasked, battle damaged, and you name it. Like, that would be great. Anyway, yeah, so I'm excited to see what else we do get for this line. Other than that, as for Spider-Man, as for like this figure, I should say, I love everything about it, except I'm not sold on the head yet. I'll have to see it in person. Obviously that's not going to make or break it for me because I'm still going to get it, but that's like the one thing. I mean, it looks like Spider-Man, but something about it just looks a little goofy. I don't know. We'll have to see. My opinion on that will probably change. But yeah, I think it's great that they went with like the McFarlane design, because I feel like for Marvel Legends we have not gotten like a Todd McFarlane look for Spider-Man just yet. So I'm glad they went with something like unique. That's great. And I'm super excited to get it. I'll definitely be recording a review and having that out there when it eventually gets released. But other than that, that is the last figure here on this list. I'm recording this in January of 2025, so that's everything. I could do an updated version of this, as months go on, because this is the definitive Spider-Man Marvel Legends list. So anyways, we are finally over and done. So let me know if you guys would like villains next, because I'd be happy to do that. I'd be very happy to talk about every Spider-Man villain. And we can keep pumping these out. Let me know if you want a different genre of characters, Fantastic Four, anything. I already have going through every Avenger on my channel and every X-Men. So let me know if you guys want the villains though. Wow, that'll be the first thing to get done. But thank you guys so much for watching. This video took a while for me to finally get out there and record and edit especially. So I appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out all my other videos and make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. More than plastic.